Hi everyone. If you look at the percentage based questions in the last few years CAT papers, out of every 4 questions you will find just one question which is either difficult or lengthy in terms of calculation, and you can think of skipping that question. Rest 3 questions are definitely solvable. They are moderate or easy question. So make sure that you are not leaving percentage question, especially if they are on the easier or moderate side. And in this video, we are going to revise all the important concepts of percentage. We'll look at what varieties of questions are being asked, and I'll also show you some shortcuts for the calculation. Along with that, we'll definitely look at some varieties of questions from previous year CAT papers. So make sure to watch this video till the end, and don't forget to hit the like button and share it with all your friends. So let's quickly understand what types of questions are being asked in percentage. So the percentage questions can be just categorized in three category. The first one is simple calculation based percentage question, where you are given some data maybe in the worded form and you just need to make some calculation and you can get the answer. We'll see those kind of questions. The second variety is where you are using the concept of percentage change. It may be successive percentage change and so on and so forth. So we will also discuss that concept and we'll look at question based on that as well. And the third one is simply based on percentage comparison. So let's begin and let's look at each of these concepts and also look at some simple conceptual questions before we proceed with the CAT question. Let me tell you that in this video, after every variety, I have provided 1 or 2 questions for you to self practice. And what you can do is you can just try those questions and post your answer in the comment section, and then you can verify with the other students. So make sure to complete this exercise, and let's begin now. So the first variety, as I mentioned, is calculation based percentage question. For that, you are requested to remember this table, which I'm sure all of you would have remembered, but just take a quick glance and make sure that you remember all this value till at least 1 by 12. In fact, if it comes to say something like 1 by 15, you should be able to quickly make out that it should be 6.66%, something like that, right? Okay. So now let me show you some conceptual question, and you try to answer those questions. See whether you are able to answer them in quick manner or not. Otherwise, you can follow the approach that I'm showing. Okay. The first question is, if 12% of a number is 60, what is 100% of that number? Can you find out 100%? Are you getting the answer quickly in say 2-3 seconds? If no, then you definitely need to work on that. So guys, 12 5s are 60, so definitely 100 5s are, it has to be 500. Very simple question, isn't that right? I just thought to check this thing whether you are good at that or not. Right, let's look at another question. If 34 is what percent of 110? Now this is what we need to find out. So you need to tell me the approximate answer. What is 34 is what percent of 110? So guys, in such situation, what you can think is 34 upon 110. So 34 threes are, we know it's 102. So had it been 102, it would have been straight away 33.33%. But here there is 8 extra, right? So what we need to understand is that 8 is what percent of 34. So can I say 1% of 34 is 3.4, 2% is 6.8. So approximately this value will be, approximately, I'm not saying exactly, approximately this value will be 2 or 2.5% less. So can I say this value should be around 31%? So these are the things that you should be able to figure out without much trouble. If you are able to do it, that means you are on the right track. Okay. Let's take one more calculation and let's see whether you are able to figure out this thing or not. If 32% of 45% of a number is 36, then what is the number? That means what is 100%? Okay, now most of the time I've seen students assuming value as x and then they try to get into calculation. But when you need to find out the approximate value, once again you can check what level of approximation can you do. Can you make an error of say plus or minus 5, or you can just make error of plus or minus 2? So based on that, you will do the approximation. For example, what I'll do over here is I'll consider 32% as 33.33%. Okay. And 33.33% is nothing but 1/3. So can I say 1/3 of 45 is 15%? So 15% of a number is 36. So we need to find out what is 100% of that number. Now we know 15 into 6.66 is nothing but 100. So let me multiply 36 by 7. So it will come out to be 252. So approximately this value should be around 250. Isn't that? So this is how you should be able to figure out the calculations quickly. If you are able to do this thing, guys, trust me, most of the percentage question you will be able to solve, right? And I have seen many students struggle at this level itself. So probably that may be because you are not good at numbers, you are not good at calculation. So just try to work on that, and I'm sure you will sail through this percentage question, because as I mentioned, 75% of the percentage questions are actually easy to moderate, which I want all of you to solve, right? Now let's look at the second variety of question, percentage change. For that, I'll suggest all of you to just revise this table once again. I'm sure you would remember this increase decrease percentage pair, that if you increase a value by 100% and if you subsequently decrease by 50%, it will get cancelled off. In fact, similarly, 50% increase, 33.33% decrease will get cancelled off, and so on and so forth. Now the same concept can also be used in such situation. For example, expenditure is equal to price into consumption. So if I increase my price by 50% and if I decrease my consumption by 33.33%, this will get cancelled off and there will be no change on expenditure. The expenditure will remain same as it was earlier. So I hope you understand this. Now let me show you some question. Let's see whether you are able to figure out the answer for that quickly or not. This is once again a conceptual question. So if 140 becomes 158, what is the percentage change? Once again, approximately close to. So can you tell me what is percentage change? Now there are a couple of ways to think. Many students do it this way. It's an increase of 18 by 140. 18 8s are 144. So this is like 1 by 8, close to 1 by 8, or you can say 12.5%. But since it is 140 over here, not 144, so we can say it will be close to 13%. This is one way. The other way of thinking, which is very simple, is this value is increasing by 18. Okay, so 18 can be written as 14 plus 4. Now we know 14 is 10% of 140, and had it been 4.2 over here, can I say 4.2 is 3% of 14, because 1% of 140 is 1.4, right? So 3% will be 4.2. So this is going to be 13.2%. So ultimately, sorry, this is going to be around 13%. So ultimately you should be able to quickly find out this kind of, you should be able to quickly make this kind of calculations. I really hope you are getting my point. Okay, so we are going to take up all the CAT questions and you will require to make just similar calculation, not even complicated than this, just this level of calculation. Okay, fine. Let's go further. A value increases from 400 to 675. What is the percentage change? Very simple question, right? So are you able to find out the answer very quickly? That's the question. Okay, so guys, of course I can make out this is an increase of 275 over 400. So my percentage change will be 275 divided by 400 into 100. So instead of writing all these things, you should be able to clearly figure out that my answer is going to be 275 by 4. And you can think in your mind that 280 divided by 4 is 70 and 5 divided by 4 is 1.25. So this is going to be 68.75. Just give a thought once again, why have I done it this way, right? So try to do it in your mind, and that would help you increase your speed also. Most of the percentage question, those 75% of percentage questions that I'm talking about, can be solved in about 80 to 90 seconds time, if not 40-50 seconds. Okay, you can surely solve them in less than 90 seconds. Okay, if the percentage has increased, let's take another question. So this is the third question. If the percentage has increased from 10 to 2000 divided by 88. Okay, now this kind of situations will come in the questions that we are going to look at. So what is the exact percentage change? And you can use calculator. You know that in CAT, calculator is allowed, right? So you sometimes you are given exact answers or very close answers because they know you can use calculator. So guys, what you can do is simply you can divide 2000 by 88. So you will get 22.72. When you divide 2000 by 88, you will get this value. So I can say my value 10 has become this one. So instead of 10, if I take 100, can I say it should have become 227.2. So can we say it's an increase of 127.2%? Yes or no? Right. So you should be able to make such calculations. If you are able to do it, then you will just sail through those percentage questions. So let's look at different varieties of PYQs. But before that, yeah, we are left with percentage comparison concept, right? So once again, you will require to use this table. It is also used in comparison. Okay, let's look at one question. If A is 20% more than B and 20% less than C, then by how many percent is B less than C? And I have seen many students get confused in such situation. So let me show you a shortcut for this. A, B and C. Okay, you can start from anyone. So I'm starting with B. So let me take B as 100. So A is 20% more than B. So A should be 120. Now this part is very clear. Okay, no rocket science in that. Now A is also 20% less than C. So can I say if A is 20% less than C, that means C should be 25% more than A. Again, we are using this pair, decrease of 20%, so increase of 25%. So this will help me find out the value of C very quickly. So just increase this value by 25%. 25% of 120 is 30. So C should be 150. Now what is our question? Our question is B is how many percent less than C? So can I say B is 33.33% less than C? Now I hope you are able to understand this part. We are comparing B with C. So remember, with whomever we are comparing, that value will go in the denominator and numerator should be B minus C. Okay, so you know this is going to be minus 50. Minus just indicates that one value is less than the other value. So this is nothing but 1/3. 1/3 is 33.33%. So I really hope you are able to do all these things very quickly. Let me show you one more situation and let's see whether you are able to figure out this thing or not. If 30% of X is 40% of Y, then can you tell me what is X is to Y? Are you able to find out this? You should be, because 30% of 40 will be equal to 40% of 30. Isn't that both will be 12 in this case? So I can say X is to Y should be 4 is to 3, right? And there have been about 3-4 questions in last 4 years itself where you require to use this kind of concept, right? So this is what I was talking about, that most of the percentage questions are on the easier side, right? So it's time to look at those questions, varieties of questions. Let's go ahead. Before that, just want to quickly tell you, in case if you are preparing for next year's CAT or IPMAT kind of exams, or any of your friend is preparing for that, so suggest them to go for Plus or Iconic using my code SHAH10 if they wish to prepare with Unacademy and under my guidance, right? So let's begin with the question. Here is the first question, nice tricky question. Okay, so the question says that in an ice cream factory, 30% of total vanilla ice cream produced is mixed with 40% of total banana flavor ice cream. Okay, so we have two types of ice creams, vanilla flavor and banana flavor. Okay, I do not know what is the quantity of this vanilla flavor and what is the quantity of banana flavor, but I know that 30%, I'm taking 30% of vanilla flavored ice cream and I'm taking 40% of banana flavor ice cream, and we are mixing them in the ratio 1:1. That means the total quantity of both is equal, and that would be possible only if I take values over here, as if I take vanilla flavor ice cream as say 40 kg and banana flavor ice cream as 30 kg. I had just mentioned that earlier, right? So now let's look at the question. So can I say vanilla flavor ice cream will be a 12 kg and banana flavor ice cream is also 12 kg. So we are now we are mixing them now. So we can say we are mixing them in the ratio 1:1. So total mixed flavor ice cream is 24 kg. This is 24 kg is the mixed flavor ice cream, and the total produce of the factory is 70 kg. We had produced total 70 kg ice cream, out of which we have created a mixed flavor of 24 kg ice cream. So our question is, what is our question? So find the percentage of mixed flavored ice cream in the total ice cream produced in the factory. Very simple question. So I need to find out 24 is what percent of 70. Now once again, this is a very simple situation. What you can do is, I mean, you should be able to figure out that had it been 72 over here, it should have been 33.33%. But this denominator is slightly less, so my answer should be slightly more than 33.33%. And there is just one value over here. Of course, can't be determined, is not required. We can surely determine, and answer is option C. How much time did it take for us to solve this question? 70 seconds, 60, 70 seconds. So this is what I was talking about. And all these questions are nothing but previous year questions. Okay, let's take, and this was based on the percentage calculation variety. I'm sure you have understood. We have just made simple percentage calculation, right? Okay, let's take few more questions, guys. And yeah, this is a bit based on time, speed, distance, but I have already released the video on time, speed, distance revision. I really hope all of you have been watching my important quant topics videos. In case if you are not aware of that, and if you have just randomly come across this video, then check the description. You will find a kind of khajana. Okay, right? So there are so many videos that I've created. So, and they are very short video for crisp revision, by the way. Fine, sure. So let's look at this question, and I'll show you a shortcut for this question. One can use three different transport which moves at 10, 20 and 30 km per hour respectively to reach from A to B. Okay, this is not actually a time speed distance question. It's a percentage question, but requires a bit of time speed distance concept. Amal took each mode of transport for 1/3 of the total time of his journey. Okay, now what most of the students do over here is they assume the total time is t, and then they say okay, he traveled for t by 3 hours at 10 km per hour, he traveled at t by 3 hour at 20 km per hour, and t by 3 hour at this one. Now this will make the question very complicated. Instead, what we can do is we can assume the values. Okay, we can assume that Amal traveled for 1 hour at 10 km per hour, then another 1 hour at 20 km per hour, and another 1 hour at 30 km per hour. Now there is a concept in time speed distance, particularly in the average speed part, that for different journeys, if time taken is same, then average speed is the simple average of speeds. So can I say Amal has traveled over here for 3 hours, and his average speed will be straight away simple average of these three speeds, that is 20 km per hour. So can I say he has traveled for 60 km distance? Yeah, so we got the distance of total journey, which is 60 km. Now that we can use in the second part, because in the second part it says that Bimal took each mode of transport for 1/3 of the total distance. Okay, so now I know what is the total distance, 60 km per hour. So 1/3 of that will be 20 km, 20 km, and 20 km. And first 20 km he traveled at this speed 10 km per hour, so he must have taken 2 hours time. Let me use some different color. He must have taken 2 hours time. The second 20 km distance he traveled at 20 km per hour, so he must have taken 1 hour time. And the third one at 30 km per hour, so he must have taken 2/3 hour time. Now what is our question? The percentage by which Bimal's time exceeds the Amal's time is nearest to. Okay, so this is Bimal's time and this is Amal's time. We know Amal has taken 3 hour, Bimal has taken 3 hour plus 2/3 hour extra. So can I say this is the extra time over the Amal's time? So what is how much percent is it more? So we can say 2/3 hour is how much percent more than 3 hours. So 2/3 by 3 into 100. This will be our answer. Straight away you can make out this is going to be 2 by 9 into 100%, and we know 1 by 9 is 11.11% from that fraction equivalent percentage table. So this should be 22.22%. So this is how you can actually simplify your questions. I really hope all of you have understood this. Okay, let's go ahead and take one more question. So in a tournament, a team has played 40 matches so far and won 30% out of them. Okay, the matches played are 40 and the team has won 30% of the matches, that is 12 matches. And this is how we normally start writing in the exam, right? Here is another lesson, guys. Rather than start writing everything from the beginning, do one thing, spend about 30 seconds on reading the question. Okay, because I'm sure most of you would have understood by now that if you have understood the question correctly, it hardly takes about another 60 seconds for you to solve, right? But if you are not able to understand the question correctly, then probably you will not be able to solve it, right? So don't mind spending about 30 seconds in reading the question and understanding that first. So yes, this is how probably you would have written, so I am just writing it. And it says that if they win 60% of the remaining matches, there are some more matches to be played, and if they win 60% of that, means they are losing 40% of the matches, right? Then the win percentage becomes 50%. Now I'll have to take some variable over here, and I hate variables, right? So what I'll do is I'll think something. Okay, can I do something differently? Yes, mixture allegation is coming to my mind. Can I say because of this two different win percentages, yeah, first you won 30% of the matches and then you are winning 60% of the matches. Okay, so your average win percentage is coming out to be 50%, right? So can I say we know this were 40 matches, so what will be this number of matches? That is what we need to figure out, right? Okay, so let's see, we'll be able to find out this. Yeah, so 60 minus 50, it's 1, and 50 minus 30, it's 2. I'm sure all of you are clear with the concept of mixture allegation. Once again, if you're not, then check the description. I have also released a revision video on mixture allegation where you can revise the complete concept in 30 minutes, right? Okay, so this will come out to be 2. So if there were 40 matches over here, there has to be 80 matches which are remaining, right? And we know that Amal won 30% of this 40 matches. So this will come out to be what? 12. And what is our question? Suppose they win 90% of the remaining matches. So these are my remaining matches and he's winning 90% of it. So 90% of 80 is 72. So what is our question? Then the total number of matches won by team in the tournament is how much? So can I say total number of matches won by this team is 12 plus 72? It's 84, right? It was not Amal, it was the team, right? So answer is 84. That's the main thing. So guys, just look at how much time have we spent, provided we are able to think that thing first कि इसमें करना क्या है. Once I have understood that I can apply mixture allegation over here, then it will take hardly 20-30 seconds for me to solve the remaining part. So I should not mind even spending 1 minute in thinking about the question. Once my thought process is correct, it's just about few calculations, and if I do not make any mistake, I can just sail through. So that's the point that I'll suggest to all of you. Yeah, let's take one more question, and this is again from CAT 2021 slot 2. The previous one was from slot 3. Remember, I mentioned most of the question in CAT exam are easy or moderate, right? Of course, you know that in CAT exam in particular slot, you will not find 4 questions of percentage. There will be 1 or 2 questions of percentage, and I'm showing most of the questions, right? That means those questions were really easy or moderate. So let's look at this question, guys. A box has 450 balls, either white or black. Okay, so there is a box, white balls, black balls, white, black, right? There being as metallic while balls are metallic. Okay, there being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. Now, of course, there are 2 more categories, metallic and non-metallic. So let me just write down metallic and non-metallic. Okay, right, let me just make the table. Once again, guys, since I have read the question, that's why I'm doing it fast. Please don't follow this approach. I mean, in exam, don't start writing without understanding, okay, without reading the complete question. But I don't want to waste your time, so I'm not spending time in reading every line. Okay, fine, chalo. So yes, and we know that total balls were 450. 450. So guys, whenever you come across such question, I have given one more such question for self-practice. So whenever you come across such a question, I call it 2 complementing category. For example, white black is a complementing category, metallic non-metallic is a complementing category, right? So whenever there are 2 complementing categories, always make a small table like this. This variety of question has appeared at least 3 to 4 times in last 5 years of CAT exam. So please make sure that you use this approach. It will actually simplify the things, right? Okay, unless you are like supercomputer and you can figure out everything in mind, then you can ignore my suggestion. So guys, now it says that if 40% of white balls and 50% of black balls are metallic, okay, whatever are my white balls, 40% of that, let me use some different color over here because I want to highlight a point. So 40% of that, and so 40% of white balls, sorry, and 50% of, yeah, I had written correctly, isn't that? Just a moment. Yeah, once again. So 40% of white balls and 50% of black balls. So whatever black balls are there, 50% of them are actually metallic. Now see, at the beginning they have mentioned there being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. So can I say these two are equal? So 40% of x, if 40% of x, let me just write over here, is equal to 50% of y. So can I say x is to y should be what? 5 is to 4, isn't that? So guys, can I say this should be in the ratio 5 is to 4? The white balls and black ball should be in the ratio 5 is to 4. So we can quickly divide this in that ratio. So 450, divide 450 in 5 is to 4. You can easily divide it by 9. So you will get 50. So this will come out to be 250 and this will come out to be 200. So now we can say this value is 250. If the total number of white balls are 250, then 40% of it is going to be 100. Similarly, if this total number of black balls are 200, then 50% of that is also 100. So I can say they are equal. So what is our question? So our question is then the number of non-metallic balls in the box. Number of non-metallic balls in the box. Can I say these are metallic balls are total 200, so non-metallic balls are 250. Just look at how easy this question was. I really hope you have understood this. Don't forget to mention in the comment section, as I always mention in my videos. So please mention how did you find this video, and are you being benefited through that or not, and which other topic videos do you want me to come up in the future. And apart from that, please don't forget to mention the answer for this self-practice question. So here is first question of self-practice. So when you mention the answer, do mention this question number so that all of you are on the same page. Okay, similarly this is another self-practice question, so you can easily solve this based on the methods that I have taught you. Right, now let's go to second variety of percentage question, which is based on percentage change. Right, let's look at this question from 2019 slot 2. So a library contained a total of 1150 books in two categories. Yeah, right, which are those two categories? Fiction and non-fiction. Yeah, so let me just write over here fiction and non-fiction. I don't know how many books were there, but total books were 11,500. Okay, in 2015 the library contained a total of 12760 books. This is about 2010. Okay, this was in the year 2010. In 2015 the library had total 12760 books. So number of books has increased by, can I say 1260? Yes or no? 11,500 to 12,760. So it's an increase of 1260, right? And during this period, that means this 10 to 15, there was 10% increase in the fiction category, while there was 12% increase in the non-fiction category. Okay, now guys, instead of taking values as of fiction and non-fiction books as x and y, let me take that as 100x and 100y. Okay, just to simplify my calculation. So can I say 100x plus 100y is 11,500? So I can say x plus y is equal to 115. Right, this is very simple. And now I know there is an increase of 1260 books, while fiction books has increased by 10%. So 10% of this one will be 10x, and non-fiction books has increased by 12%. So what is 12% of 100y? It is 12y. So can I say due to this total increase, my net increase in the books come out to be 1260. So I can say 10x plus 12y is equal to 1260. What do we need to find out? So how many fiction books were there in the library in 2015? Very simple question. So what we can do is we can just multiply this equation by 10. So we'll get 10x plus 10y is equal to 1150, and we can subtract them. So I'll get 2y is equal to 110. Isn't that? Yeah, 1150, 1260 minus 1150, right? So what will be 100 by? It has to be 50 times this, so it will be 5500, right? So if non-fiction books are 5500, can I say fiction books should be 6000, so as to get the total books as 11,500? That's our answer. The answer for this question is 6000. I really hope you have understood this. Now try to solve this question by your own and see how much time are you taking. Okay, fine. Let's take few more such questions so that we can be sure of solving most of the questions in CAT exam based on percentages. Yeah, so this question, the total of male and female population in a city increased by 25% from 1970 to 1980. Okay, now this question may look difficult because it is of almost 4 lines, right? And it has so many changes, but actually it was very simple question. Once again, it is from just recent CAT paper, slot 3. Most of the students are complaining about slot 3, so I'll keep highlighting this point that slot 3 questions are not difficult. Let's see this question and then you decide for yourself. Right, so they are saying that total male and female population, that means the total population in a city increased by 25% from 1970 to 1980, right? During the same period, the male population increased by 40% while the female population increased by 20%. Guys, what you can think of over here by looking at this thing? Can I say overall increases of 25%, male percentage increases 40%, female percentage increases 20%. When you come across these three values which are forming a pattern like three tires of rickshaw, guys, it's a mixture allegation, isn't that? Okay, so can I say female population has increased by 20% and male population has increased by 40%, and because of this overall population increases 25%. So I can straight away find out female to male ratio, isn't that? So this ratio will come out to be 3:1. Yes, this is the first step of this question. So I can say if there were 300 female in the town, okay, there must have been 100 male in the town. When? In the year, right? In which year, guys? Can I say 1970? We are talking about 1970, right? So in 1970, I can say female and male were 300 and 100 respectively. Okay, Yes, 300 and 100 in 1970 year. Let's write aside. Okay. Now what they are saying, from 1980 to 1990, the female population further increased by 25%. So can I say from 1970 to 1990, the total increase in the female population is first 20%, this 20% and then 25%. Now guys, you should be very clear with this point that when we increase a value successively by 20% and 25%, the net increase is actually 50%. You really should not require to do it one by one. For example, 100, 120 and then further 25%, so it will make it 150. So you should be able to remember this by now, that 20% increase, 25% increase, it is equal to 50% increase, right? So I can straight away say my female population has increased by this 50%, so it should have become 450, right? Now let's read further. Okay, if the female population is twice the male population, ठीक है, so in they are talking about in 1990, so in 1990 female population is twice the male population. So can I say female population is 450, so male population should be 225, only then this will be twice, right? So we are asked to find out the percentage increase in the total population of male and female from 1970 to 1990. Guys, can I say in 1970 we had 300 plus 100, that is 400 people, and it has become 450 plus 225. Can I say it has become 675? So there is an increase of 275, and we need to find out this percentage change. I had mentioned this thing at the beginning, 275 over 400. So straight away percentage change will be 275 by 4, which we had already calculated, 68.75%. That's our answer, 68.75%. Once again, see, after the exam, if you look at the analysis, probably this question will be pushed in the tough category. Let me tell you, most of the people would not solve this question, right? So if you are able to solve this question, trust me, you are just in among top 5% of the CAT takers. So make a point to solve such question and try to get above 95 percentile at least. Okay, chalo. So I really hope you have understood this. In case if you require, you can run this video once again. Okay, let's take one more question, guys. So yeah, this question is again based on percentage change, CAT 2020 slot 2. John bought the same amount of rice and the same amount of wheat as he had bought in April, but spent 150 more due to price increase of rice and wheat by 20% and 12% respectively. Okay, so guys, it's about rice and wheat. Okay, I don't know what amount he had spent initially, right? But here, yes, it's about 2 months, April and May. It's about this 2 months. Acha, we are told over here, if John had spent 450 on rice in April, so John had spent 450 on rice in April. Let me just write out over here, this amount was 450. Okay, see, please understand, John bought same amount of rice. Okay, so not same the money amount, not in terms of money, but in terms of quantity. Actually, in CAT exam, I've seen that they are using this word amount too frequently. It should have been quantity. Okay, fine. Anyways, so guys, don't interpret it that way, that he bought 450 worth rupees rice and 450 worth rupees wheat. No, it was not the case, right? Fine. So let's understand. So this is 450, and but spend 150 more due to the price increase of rice and wheat by 20% and 12% respectively. Can I say price of rice has increased by 20%? So what is 20% of 450? It is going to be 90. So he is going to spend 90 more because of rice, and we know total he has spent rupees 150 more, right? So can I say the increase in wheat should be 60 rupees, and it is actually 12% increase, right? So what should have been the price in April of wheat? Can I say 12% is 60, so 100% should be 500 rupees? Yes or no? So what is the total price of wheat in the month of May? Can I say rice price will be 540 and wheat price will be 560? We don't require this, we are just asked to find out then how much did he spend on wheat in May. So answer is 560. Very simple question, 2020 slot 2. Have you understood? If you go by step, I'm sure you will be able to solve the question. Let's take one more question if we have. Oh no, this here is a question for you to do. It's a self-practice question. Please make a point to post your answer in the comment section. ठीक है. And henceforth for all this quant important topic videos, I'll give you some question for self practice. Please don't take help of anyone. Try to figure out things by your own and post your answer in the comment section. And if possible, in the bracket, please mention how much time have you spent. 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 100 seconds, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever time you are spending, please mention it over there. I just want to understand that how much time does it take for you. Okay, fine. Similarly, here is one more question. So I have already given 4 questions for self practice. Now let's look at last variety of question, percentage comparison. Okay, so yeah, the question goes like this: the income of Amla is 20% more than that of Bimla and 20% less than Kamla. Didn't I mention the situation earlier? We are talking about 3 people: Amla, Bimla and Kamla. So what we can do is we can assume the income of Bimla, or you can start from anywhere, right? But if I take Bimla as 100, so Amla will become 120, and this is actually 20% less than that. So can I say Kamla should be 25% more? Acha, if you want, you can start with Kamla also and then you can come to Bimla. Ultimately, it will take same amount of time. Okay. So guys, Kamla's income should be 150, right? Because Amla's income is 20% less than Kamla. So Kamla's income should be 25% more than Amla, right? I really hope you are not confused because of this Amla, Kamla and all, right? Just focus. So if Kamla's income has gone down by 4%, right? If Kamla's income has down by 4%, so 4% means 6 rupees. So it should have become 144 now. And Bimla's income has gone up by 10%. So Bimla's income has become 110. Then the percentage by which Kamla's income would exceed Bimla's income is, this is how much more than Bimla. So 34 rupees more. 34 over 110. At the beginning we had done this thing. It will come out to be how much? Can I say it will be less than 33.33%, about 2% less than that. So I'll say 31%. Here is the answer, option A. We are done, provided we are good at those calculations, right? Okay, chalo, let's go ahead and take one more question. Now this is a tricky question. This question is a tricky question, but still it can be called of moderate level of difficulty if you are able to assume the values correctly. Okay, fine. So let's look at the question. Identical chocolate pieces are sold in boxes of 2 sizes, small and large. Small box chocolates in the small box, but they are identical pieces, okay? And large, yeah, chocolate box. The large box, now why have they mentioned this identical chocolate pieces? So guys, what they are trying to say that if I take out the pieces, the value of the pieces is same, matlab their cost is same, okay, or the selling price actually is same, right? But because you are packing in a different way, the selling price will be different. The large box is sold for twice the price of the small box, okay, right? Large box is sold at twice the price of the small box. I don't know what's the price. If the selling price per gram of chocolate in the large box is 12% less than that in small box, okay, if the selling price per gram of chocolate in large box is 12% less than that in small box, so I need 2 things over here. One is selling price of small box. What is the selling price? So let me assume 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? So that I can easily reduce by 12%. So can I say large box price should be 88 over here per gram price, and we will also require the grams that we are selling. So let's assume we are selling 10 grams over here in the small box. So can I say total price of small box is going to be 1000 rupees? Yes or no? So that should be 2000 rupees for the large box, isn't that? That should be 2000 rupees for the large box. So can you tell me what should be grams over here? Can I say the gram should be 2000 divided by 88, because we are selling at 88 rupees per gram. This is rupees per gram, huh? This is rupees per gram, and we are selling, we don't know how many grams are we selling, but total price comes out to be 2000. So can I say it's going to be 2000 by 88, right? So what is our question? Then the percentage by which the weight of chocolate in the large box exceeds that in the small box, मतलब ये इससे कितना ज़्यादा है ये find करना है. So we know 2000 by 88, you can use calculator, it will come out to be 22.72. So 22.72 is how many percent more than 10? So I can say this, you can assume this as 100, so this will come out to be 227.2. So we can say it's approximately 127% more. We are given the option. So if you are able to decode the problem correctly, if you are able to assume the right values, okay, why have I assumed the values? Because in the question there is no mention of exact number of grams or exact price and all. Everything is given in proportion and percentages. So you can assume the values that you want to for grams, that is for quantity, as well as for price, right? Okay guys, so yeah, here is one last question in this video. I really hope you are finding it useful, you are enjoying learning, because this video is going a little fast and I wanted to keep it that way, because in my normal videos there are lots of interruption. So the learning that could happen in about say 30 minutes time, it takes normally 2 hours when I go live, right? So I actually wanted you to do quick revision. Right, so you really don't need to play this video at 1.5x, because I have heard myself at 1.5x and I sound very funny, I believe. Chalo. So let's look at this question. In an examination, and we are going to use some smart approach over here for this question. In an examination, the maximum possible score is n. Okay. So guys, we normally take maximum percentage as 100%. So they are saying n is 100%. The pass marks is 45% of n. So can I say pass marks are just 45%? If total marks are, maximum marks are 100, we are calling it n. So pass marks are 45%. A candidate obtained 36 marks but failed short of pass marks by 68%. Now a common mistake that most of the candidate commits over here is they assume the value as 100n, then they write down pass marks as 45n, then they'll try to reduce it by 68% and they'll get into complicated calculation. This is something that you should not be doing, especially in the first 10-15 minutes. Okay, use some smarter approach. Let's see how can we do it without getting into any calculations, any complicated calculation. So they are saying the candidate has scored how many marks? 36 marks. The candidate scored 36 marks and he failed by, can I say he failed by 68%? So these marks are 68% less than the pass marks. So can I say this 36 marks are actually 32% of the pass marks? Yes or no? If some value is 68% less, then I can say it is 32% of the bigger value, isn't that? So I can say this 36 marks are actually 32% of pass marks. Now pass marks itself are 45% of total marks. So I can say this 36 is actually 32% of 45%. And at the beginning I had shown you this thing that we can assume this as 33.33% approximately, because it will not affect. Look at the answer option range, they are far apart from each other. So it will not make any difference. So you can assume this as one third of 45% is going to be 15%. I'm saying 15% is 36. So 100% should be almost 7 times, that is 252. It should be slightly less than that actually. So I can say 250. So yeah, my total marks is 250, and that is what they're asking. Then which of the following is correct? I'll tick mark this option, isn't that? We are done with the question, right? So guys, try to use this kind of approach and do let me know in the comment section how are you finding these methods. And just want to quickly tell you, in case if you are watching this video and preparing for next year's CAT or other entrance exams, any other entrance exam, you can definitely go for Unacademy subscription. Any subscription that you want to take or your friend want to take, just use code SHAH10 as the referral code. That will be like your message of appreciation for me, right? And yeah, there is a massive offer which is going on right now. You are getting 30% off. This is a limited period offer, so grab it quickly, or you can suggest your friends also. My new batches are coming up, so yeah, you can join using this code. And one more thing, if you want to get update about all my upcoming sessions, so please make sure that you have joined my Telegram channel. The QR code is displayed, and you can also join using this channel ID, right? So yeah, once again, stay tuned and wait for my more videos, because I'm releasing videos for almost all topics of quantitative aptitude. So yeah, keep learning and keep liking it. That's it guys.